Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamie Pisano with BHP. I'm here on behalf of the town of Mansfield, and we're here to discuss the Mansfield TOD Parkway construction project. I'm working with Josh Ranke. He's the acting town manager and DPW director. So I threw this slide in, something that we use at a public informational meeting. Just shows you the history of how we're working in this TOD area. This area is north of Route 106, but west of the northeast corridor. I'll have some graphics in a few minutes, but just showing you that the town's been working on this for the last 20 plus years. But there's a lot of momentum going since, like 2018. So with this, just to give everybody sort of an orientation, Chauncey Street at the bottom of the screen is Route 106, northeast corridor running from the bottom middle up to the upper right. We also have I call it the spur that heads off to Foxborough and Gillette Stadium, running sort of through the middle of the screen. The area that we're talking about, again, is north of Chauncey Street, sort of in this area. If you can see my pointer moving around, it's basically open parking space. And then we'll continue up, do a rail crossing and get up to County Street, which is in the upper right area of the screen. There are a lot of stakeholders involved. As you can see through the years, the town's been working on it. There is the neighborhoods that are adjacent to the train station. They provided a lot of feedback at our public informational meetings and sort of have guided us to the project that you'll see in a few minutes. There are private property owners for the parking areas. MBTA is involved and owns some of the land and also have parking in that area as well. Mass DOT actually owns the rail corridor from the northeast corridor heading up towards Gillette Stadium. And CSX is the rail that runs through this Foxborough spur and then down the northeast corridor. As I mentioned, we've done a lot of coordination. The town has a memorandum of agreement with the property owners, so everybody's playing nice in the sandbox is the best way to put it. We've had several meetings with not only the property owners, MBTA, Mass DOT, CSX, and we've also had some public forums with the planning board, select board, and that's how we've basically been able to obtain a lot of feedback. So one of the goals, or just getting to the goals and issues for the project, we're trying to remove the commuter traffic from the neighborhood. So you can see in the graphic on the right is the neighborhood that I'm talking about today. You come in on Highland off of Route 106, go through the neighborhood and into the parking areas. So the traffic through here is basically brutal when the trains pull in. There's also, it's very difficult to pull out of Highland, especially if you want to go east towards Eastern on Chauncey Street. So again, this piece is there. So our goal again is to remove the commuter traffic from the neighborhood. We want to improve access to the train station, provide access to potential developments, again, working with the property owners that own this land here, just to the west of the northeast corridor. And then the town also owns the green space. It's in sort of the upper left area. Their intent there is potentially build some passive recreation in the future. And again, provide that access off of the roadway that we're going to create as part of this TOD Parkway. Issues that we're up against, as I mentioned, the multiple stakeholders, just trying to get everybody's input to make sure that we're doing this correctly. And we've made good strides on that piece. The railroad requirements, not only how we're going to handle this through there, but making sure that CSX still operates. Dealing with the stormwater management and addressing the site as we develop the roadway piece. And then just during construction, how are we going to temporarily and permanently park cars so that basically everyone can access the train station. In terms of a project status, where we're headed, first, just want to thank, SERPED and Mass DOT. As we presented this project before, just the coordination that had happened, we were able to get this project number of 614027. So again, from everybody that was involved, thank you very much. The existing conditions, we've surveyed the piece and we have base mapping. We've done some geotech investigation throughout the project area. You'll see the conceptual roadway layout and cross sections in a minute. We've also done some conceptual site layout. Again, that's not part of this roadway project, but it's just sort of feeding in, providing information to some of our stakeholders. We're evaluating the stormwater management, and we will ultimately be adding in new utility services for not only the roadway, but the private development. As a part of this, you'll see that there's a potential parking garage. We've done a parking study to provide some more information for the town to see if that's a reasonable approach. There's also been some conceptual rail improvements that was done by Jacobs Engineering for Mass DOT. Again, as a crossing and all the requirements, excuse me, it's another factor that we have to deal with. And right now we're advancing the pre-25% over the shoulder submission. That'll be going in the next month or so to Mass DOT for review. So in terms of the layout, I've now turned the picture sideways for you. Chauncey Street, Route 106 is on the far left. The northeast corridor is running from left to right in the bottom part of the screen. And again, the spur that goes off to Foxborough and Gillette Stadium comes from the middle of the screen, goes to the upper right. Our new roadway would hug sort of the western side of all of these properties, come through the rail crossing, again, which makes the rail yard operational, and also we have the distance between the northeast corridor and the rail crossing. All that's been worked through with Mass DOT. So again, conceptual wise, we have that. Our intent is to install a roundabout up here on County and North Main Street. We've met with individuals up in this area as well, just to get their feedback and understanding to make sure, again, we're accommodating as many as possible. So I know this picture shows a parking garage. And again, just imagine that that part is not part of the project that we're talking about at this point. It is just the roadway. If you just follow my arrow, just coming through. Again, the intent here is just a 25-mile-per-hour design speed. So we move through this area. Again, it opens up development. One of the main pieces that we heard in the public informational piece is sort of the younger generation that grew up in Mansfield was saying we need affordable housing. And they feel that this is an opportunity for some housing that could go in and that the younger generation could buy and then ultimately stay in Mansfield. From a cross section of our parkway, on the west side, our intent is to have that 5.5-foot sidewalk that includes the curb, 2-foot shoulders, 11-foot travel lanes. Then you'd have a slight buffer and a shared use path on the TOD side or train station side. That would carry all the way through from Route 106 up to County Street. Next steps, again, we're continuing all our stakeholder coordination. We've also began advancing a development agreement keep everybody on board. Again, there's land swaps that are going to happen. There's a lot of moving parts here. We'll be submitting our 25% over the shoulder. And again, from the rail improvements, we'll continue to work with Mass DOT, CSX to make sure that that can be advanced at this point as well. I went fast, but just wanted to open it up to questions, comments.